So let's talk about controlling access level in object-oriented programming with Python. And what do you mean by controlling access level? So, thing is, okay, in object-oriented programming now, there was a mechanism that was developed in order to control the access levels to an object member. So we have a private, okay, let me just go ahead and comment it here. We have a private access level. We have three types of access level. We have a private access level, we have a protected access level, and we have a public access level. So these are the three main access levels that we have. In other programming language, these keywords will be used to precede as a prefix for the function, or preceding a function itself, or the method. That's like the method / members of this object of that class. But in Python, we use double underscore, that's two underscores, to signify private. That's a member that is private. Then for protected, we use a single underscore, and for public, we just define it without any underscore. So if I should go ahead and create a class just to like demonstrate this. So now, what does private mean? Private means that the members can be accessed only within the class. Only within this defined class, that's when the members can be accessed. And protected means the members can be accessed from within the class as well as its related classes. That's like subclasses which is inherited by inheritors, which we'll talk about in the future. Members can be accessed through subclasses too. So that's the protected part of it. Alright. So, and for public now, it can be accessed outside the class as well as within the class. Anywhere you want to access the class, you're allowed to access the class. So let me define the class called employee right here. And now we have a constructor here. Okay, and this constructor, all we want is a name and a salary for these employees. So, okay, forgetting my column right here. So once we get a name and a salary here, I'll just go ahead and say self.name is equals to name, then self.salary is equals to salary. So from self.name now is equals to name, self.salary is equals to salary. I can just go ahead and say, okay, now I want to try and access these members right here, these variables right here. What can I do? Okay, let me just create an employee right here. I'll go ahead and say employee 1 is equals to, okay, so now when I create an employee object, I'm giving it a name, Andrew, and salary. Okay, I just give it a salary of, let's say 30k. So we give it a salary of like 30k, and right here I want to access this employee salary. Let me try and just go ahead and print employee1.name. So now you can know that right here I'm using a public access and I'm able to print out employee1.name. But what if I'm trying to use a protected access right here? That means like I'm trying to change the access level to protected. You can see here I'm looking. I need to put it right here. So one thing you should know about this protected access is that I am still able to access it outside the class itself. Outside the class itself, I'm still able to access this protected access. But this signifies to programmers that you should not access this outside the class. But Python does not really put an error against that. But when I try to like make this a private access, yeah, and I'm trying to access this outside the function itself, I'm going to get an error which says employee has no attribute underscore name, which means this is not visible outside this class. This function underscore name is not visible outside the class itself. So how am I now going to like access this, change this name or get this name if I am using it as a private variable, if as a private member, if it's protected privately? So what that's where we have our getters and setters method. So I can define a get method right here. If get name, and all I need to just do right here is to return, because this private private members can be accessed within the class itself. So I can just go ahead and say get name, and I should be able to get my name quite alright right here. You can see I can get my name right here. So you can just try and play around with private data member, protected data member, and public data member. So go ahead and try and do the same thing with this salary, and let me know what your output was in the comment section for difference triad as a public, the private, and the protected triad. So goodbye, see you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Code Through.